A common thing that happens in such road traffic accidents or even a fall at home is fracture. A fracture is the breaking of a bone or a bend in a bone, most probably the longer bones. A fracture always has associated damage to the soft tissue around the broken bone. A majority of broken bones are caused by falls, sport accidents, and motor vehicle accidents. Whether the fracture is minor or a major one, observe for the following to assess the situation to be a fracture before offering any remedy. Observe for immense pain when the fractured bone is moved or even when still. Swelling around the fractured bone. Skin turning blackish blue, indicating a clot within. A deformed shape of the bone if the fracture was severe. The important first aid principle in handling a victim with fracture is immobilization of the broken bone in whichever part of the body. For temporary relief, apply ice pack on the swell. Now, let us look at how to give first aid for a fracture.
Fracture. Fracture in arms. In order to provide first aid to a victim with a fractured arm, roll a piece of cloth of sufficient length and place it below the armpit of the broken arm. Take another piece of cloth, bring it over the broken arm and tie both the ends under the other arm. Take another piece of cloth, join the two corners of a square-shaped cloth and make it into a triangle. If you get only a rectangular piece of cloth, then you can make it into a square by folding the cloth in the middle. Place one end of the longer edge of the triangular cloth over the shoulder opposite to the broken hand. Bend the victim's hand slowly to rest right at the middle of the cloth. Pick the other end of the triangle that is now below the bent hand. Lift it above the other shoulder. Tie both the ends of the triangular cloth that are now above the shoulders behind the neck. Ensure the hand is now safe inside the makeshift sling and if necessary, adjust the triangular cloth accordingly. To further support the broken bone, place a ruler or scale or rolled newspaper under the broken arm and tie it along with the sling. Fracture in legs. If the fracture is in one of the legs, make the person lie down. Immobilize the broken leg by tying it with the other leg. For better support, you can place one or two rulers or scales or rolled newspaper on both sides of the broken bone, and you can place a pillow or a rolled blanket in between the legs before tying the 3 knots. Take 3 pieces of cloth and insert it one by one in the gap below the knee, one towards the thigh, and take one towards the ankle, and the third remains under the knee. Tie one each at the ankle, at the knee, and at the thigh on the side of the fractured leg. don'ts in fracture for first responder.
You will need to be careful of what should not be done in a fracture scenario. As a first aid provider, you should not use plaster of Paris as part of the aid. Remember that you are not a doctor and leave it to the doctor to take a call on it. You also should not put the broken bone together, and in case of a dislocation, do not try to put the disjointed bone back into its position. You could only cause further damage if you do so. In case the victim suffers from sprain, follow the RICE principle. R for rest. Rest the injured area for 48 hours. I for ice. Keep ice for 20 minutes at a time for up to 4 to 8 times a day. C for compress. Apply gentle pressure to reduce the swelling. And finally, E for elevate. Raise the injured limb 6 to 10 inches above the level of the heart.
Chapter Summary.
In this chapter, you have learned to identify a fracture, provide first aid for fracture, what not to do for a fracture, and how to handle a sprain.